Reacher dominates Nielsen streaming top 10 following second season debut. It's only fitting that such a big man makes such a big impact, as has once again proven the case with Prime Video's proven smash hit Reacher, which absolutely dominated the competition as it climbed to the second position in Nielsen's streaming top 10 and the #1 spot for original series monitored by the platform. This surge in viewership occurred following the December 15 release of the initial 3 episodes of its second season, which stars Alan Ritchson as the titular character. In just the first 3 days post-release, the show garnered a remarkable 1.7 billion minutes of viewership. Nielsen's data reveals a demographic trend consistent with the first season. Approximately 2/3 of the audience are over 50 years old and 58% are male, so it's probably fair to say you're watching peak dad TV. By comparison, Reacher's first season debuted on Nielsen's streaming top 10 list as the second most watched title during the week of January 31 to February 6, 2022. This debut followed its premiere on February 4 and achieved a total of 1.84 billion viewing minutes. In contrast to its second season, the first season of Reacher was released all at once to allow for binge viewing. This led to the series accumulating 1.8 billion minutes of viewership for the entire season within just 3 days, a feat achieved with a larger bulk of content compared to the 3-episode initial release of Season 2. The 1.69 billion minutes for Reacher, adapted from the series of books by Lee Child based around the vigilante hobo Jack Reacher, was enough for second place behind Netflix's star-studded apocalyptic movie, Leave the World Behind, which earned 1.95 billion minutes of viewing for that 7-day period. The second season of the series adapts Lee Child's novel Bad Luck and Trouble, the 11th installment in the Jack Reacher series. This season delves into themes of loyalty, revenge, and justice. It highlights Reacher's sharp analytical skills and his impressively daunting physical abilities. The storyline follows Reacher, who typically travels solo, as he receives a mysterious message from a former teammate in the 110th MP Special Investigations Unit. This leads them to realize that they are being systematically targeted and eliminated. Alan Ritchson returns to portray Jack Reacher, with Maria Sten, Serinda Swan, and Sean Sipos playing significant roles within the 110th MP Special Investigations Unit. In the crowded world of streaming content, it's rare for a show to truly stand out. Yet, the Amazon Prime Video series Reacher has done just that, smashing into the Nielsen streaming top 10 with the release of its second season and showing no signs of slowing down. The character of Jack Reacher has leapt from the pages of Lee Child's best-selling novels to the screen in a way that has captivated audiences across the globe. With its gritty action sequences, compelling storylines, and a character that is larger than life, both physically and metaphorically, Reacher has not only dominated the streaming charts, but also ignited conversations about what makes a show truly binge-worthy. The Reacher phenomenon Reacher is based on the eponymous character from Lee Child's wildly popular book series, which has sold over 100 million copies worldwide. Jack Reacher is an ex-military police officer who, by all accounts, is a modern-day nomad with a penchant for delivering justice on his own terms. With his towering physical presence and no-nonsense demeanor, Reacher navigates the murky waters of crime, corruption, and conspiracy, leaving a trail of bodies, most of whom undoubtedly deserved their fate, in his wake. The show had big shoes to fill when it first launched, and fans of the books were eager but cautious. Would this adaptation capture the spirit of the novels? Could it balance the brutality and intelligence that define the character of Reacher? Amazon took a gamble, casting Alan Ritchson in the lead role, and it has paid off in spades. Ritchson's portrayal of Jack Reacher has been praised for being both faithful to the character's physicality and personality, which contrasts sharply with the earlier film portrayal starring Tom Cruise, a choice that had perplexed many fans of the books due to Cruise's smaller stature. Breaking into the top 10, the Nielsen streaming top 10 is a coveted spot for any show, serving as a barometer for what's hot in the streaming world. Reacher smashing its way into the rankings is no small feat, especially considering the competition from other high-budget series on platforms like Netflix, Disney+, and HBO Max. It's a testament not only to the show's quality, but to the hunger for this kind of gritty, grounded action in a market that often leans toward fantasy and superhero fare. When the second season of Reacher debuted, it had the benefit of an already enthusiastic fan base from its first season. However, the stakes were higher. In the age of streaming, where viewers are spoiled for choice, a second season must not only live up to the first, but often surpass it in order to maintain viewer interest. From the moment the second season was released, it became clear that Reacher was not just riding on the coattails of its debut, but had leveled up in every way possible. The storylines in the new season are sharper, the stakes higher, and the action sequences more thrilling. The creative team behind the show has smartly chosen to adapt one of Lee Child's most popular books, Die Trying, for this season, ensuring a mix of suspense, intrigue, and character development that has kept audiences hooked. Furthermore, with episodes being dropped in the typical binge-watch-friendly fashion, it's no wonder that Reacher climbed so quickly in the Nielsen rankings. What's driving the success? There are several factors that have contributed to Reacher's dominant performance in the streaming world. First and foremost, the character of Jack Reacher is an inherently compelling one. In a landscape filled with flawed, conflicted anti-heroes, Reacher stands out as a throwback to the classic action hero archetype, a man who, while deeply flawed in his own way, has an unshakable moral compass. He doesn't quibble about what needs to be done, and he doesn't wrestle with his conscience in the way that many modern characters do. This sense of certainty, combined with his formidable physical abilities, makes him a character who is deeply satisfying to watch. He's the kind of hero who gets the job done, no questions asked, and in a world that often feels unpredictable, there's something undeniably comforting about that. Another key element to the show's success is its action sequences. In an age where many shows rely on CGI and quick cuts to make their fight scenes look impressive, Reacher goes the extra mile to make its action feel real and visceral. The choreography of the fight scenes is brutal, efficient, and designed to highlight Reacher's skill set as a former military police officer. There's a weight to the action in Reacher that is missing from many other shows, and viewers appreciate that sense of realism. In many ways, the physicality of the show feels like a throwback to the gritty, no-nonsense action films of the 80s and 90s, which only adds to its appeal. The cast of Reacher is another driving factor. While Alan Ritchson's portrayal of Jack Reacher is undoubtedly the centerpiece, the supporting cast has been equally impressive. The show has managed to strike a balance between Reacher's lone wolf tendencies and the need to build a compelling ensemble around him. Characters like Oscar Finley, played by Malcolm Goodwin, and Roscoe Conklin, played by Willa Fitzgerald, offer the perfect foil to Reacher's stoicism, providing moments of humor, tension, and emotional depth that round out the show's narrative. This season has also introduced a number of intriguing new characters, each with their own motivations and secrets, keeping the audience guessing. A new era for action series? The success of Reacher also points to a larger trend in the streaming world, the resurgence of grounded, character-driven action series. For years, it seemed as though streaming services were focused primarily on high-concept genre shows, superhero series, fantasy epics, and sci-fi dramas. While those types of shows still dominate much of the landscape, the popularity of Reacher suggests that there's a real appetite for shows that offer a different kind of escape, one grounded in the real world, where the stakes are personal, the action is visceral, and the hero is just as likely to solve a problem with his fists as with his brain.